The prevalence of military coups often sparks quick criticism, and rightly so, as they are undemocratic and wrong. However, it is crucial to delve into the underlying reasons that lead to such situations in the first place. It becomes essential to question why some individuals, operating within a democracy, fail to abide by the established rules. In recent times, we have witnessed a growing disillusionment with democracy in certain regions, as evident in the Niger Republic. The celebration of a military coup there by some people reflects their frustration with a democratic system that appears to be failing them. One of the core tenets of a democracy is the adherence to rules and regulations. However, it is disheartening to see politicians engaging in impunity, corruption, and wastefulness. In a true democracy, the path to power should be through fair elections, where candidates are nominated, people cast their votes, and the winner is declared after a transparent vote count. Sadly, in some cases, elections can devolve into political coups, like what occurred in Nigeria. The 2023 election saw massive turnouts, fueled by promises of a free and fair process. Nevertheless, reports emerged of disenfranchisement and manipulation, starting with the registration for the collection of PVCs, permanent voter cards. This intentional obstruction of the electoral process eroded trust and confidence in the democratic system. Efforts to automate the process and prevent manipulations were thwarted intentionally, perpetuating a flawed system. Even on election day, many citizens were left waiting for hours, encountering unprepared INEC officials, and encountering incidents of ethnic profiling that denied some people their right to vote. It is evident that the failure to address these issues has led to a loss of faith in democracy. In Nigeria, democracy seems to be on life support as people increasingly question the integrity of the electoral process. The lack of accountability and the willingness to overlook electoral malpractices have only intensified this sentiment. In such a climate, people feel their votes do not count, leading to decreased voter turnout and political apathy. The promise of a better future through democracy becomes a mere illusion when politicians prioritize personal gains over the will of the people. The situation demands a reevaluation of the support and policies that the international community extends towards African nations. To foster a sustainable and functional democracy, it is essential to hold leaders accountable and prioritize the well-being of the populace over personal interests. In conclusion, it is not enough to solely condemn military coups. We must also address the root causes that erode faith in democracy. By holding leaders accountable, promoting transparency, and upholding the principles of democracy, we can strive to revitalize democratic systems and serve the true interests of the people. The Western world cannot simply turn a blind eye to the recent election debacle. They must take decisive action. Sanctions should be imposed on all those responsible for orchestrating the political coup against the Nigerian people. Additionally, strict policies must be implemented to block funds being illicitly laundered to Western countries from Africa, especially Nigeria. Promoting democracy should not coexist with accepting money stolen from the very people democracy is meant to serve. The European Union invested substantial funds in the election, hoping for a positive outcome. However, the results proved disappointing, leaving the investment seemingly wasted. This demonstrates that actions have consequences, and true democracy can only flourish when all involved adhere to the rules. Proper separation of powers is fundamental in a democracy. A president should not assume the role of a king with unchecked authority. Each arm of government, the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature, must carry out its responsibilities diligently. Failure to do so may push a disillusioned populace towards accepting military intervention as an alternative. In a functional democracy, the court should be a reliable recourse for those feeling cheated by the system. However, when the court fails to provide justice, people lose faith. Instances of voter suppression and violence during elections only exacerbate this lack of trust, leading some to destroy their PVCs and vowing never to vote again. It is essential to learn from the past and hold leaders accountable. While certain historical figures like Abacha may have engaged in corruption, comparisons reveal the importance of effective economic management. Nigerians must strive for a renewed democracy where all parties respect the rules, and the judiciary restores faith in the democratic process. An election rigged from the outset can never produce a positive outcome. A solid foundation is imperative for democracy to thrive, and stolen elections only perpetuate a vicious cycle of further misconduct. Leaders must comprehend that protecting the people requires genuine service, not exploitation. In conclusion, the Western world must take a firm stand against electoral malpractices and money laundering. To restore faith in democracy, adherence to rules and a just judiciary are paramount. Nigerians need to rekindle hope in democracy by collectively upholding its principles and demanding accountability from their leaders.